All right, ready for a deep dive?
Always.
Today, we're heading back to ancient China.
Woo!
Yeah, to the Qin Dynasty.
I like where this is going.
To uncover the secrets.
The secrets.
Yeah, behind their rise to power.
Yeah.
You know, the dynasty that gave us wonders like the Great Wall.
Of course.
And
the Terracotta Army.
the Terracotta Army, exactly.
Amazing.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're not just talking bricks and statues today.
Okay. So
Right?
we're talking.
We're going deeper
You-
to explore how they built their image,
Interesting.
their brand,
Oh.
if you will,
Yeah.
using some pretty clever tools.
Tools.
Yeah, like what?
Philosophies,
Okay.
symbolism, all that.
That's fascinating.
It's a classic example of how true power isn't just about, military dominance.
It's about winning hearts and minds, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Conquering minds.
I like that.
And we've got these fascinating excerpts from an article.
Oh.
It's called, okay, hold on.
It roughly translates to pasted text.
Pasted text, huh?
Yeah, the title might sound a bit cryptic right now,
Yeah, a little.
but trust me, the story behind it
Okay.
is way more interesting than you might think.
I'm intrigued.
And it all comes down to this question. How does a brand new empire,
A brand new empire.
yeah, how do they convince everyone,
Everyone.
from everyday folks
Oh,
to,
to powerful rival.
to powerful rivals, exactly,
Yeah.
that they're the real deal,
Oh, yeah.
that they're the rightful rulers.
The legitimacy question.
It's not just about marching armies,
You need more than just force.
Right.
It's about persuasion.
It's about winning over those minds.
Convincing people, yeah.
And the Qin Dynasty,
Mhm.
they were masters at that game.
Masters to
I've-
really get their strategy.
Yeah.
We need to understand a core concept in ancient Chinese thought,
Okay.
the mandate of heaven.
Mandate of heaven.
Yeah, it's like a...
Cosmic seal of approval.
That's a great way to put it.
Right.
Yeah.
The belief that rulers,
Hmm.
they get their legitimacy
Okay.
from divine approval.
Divine approval, got it.
So lose the mandate,
Oh,
and you're basically
you're out of business.
out of business.
Cosmically speaking.
Cosmically speaking, yeah.
I like that.
When the Qin Dynasty toppled the Zhou Dynasty,
Okay.
they had a big challenge.
Big challenge.
They needed to prove
Right.
that they had this mandate,
Yeah.
that their rule
Right.
was not only powerful,
Mm-hmm.
but also
Divinely ordained.
divinely ordained. Exactly.
Makes sense.
And that's where Zhu Yan comes in,
Zuyan.
and his cycle of 5 virtues theory.
Oh, this is interesting.
You know what I found really interesting?
What's that?
Zhu Yan wasn't even from the Qin state.
Really?
He was from their rival.
From their rivals?
Yeah, from the Qi state.
Huh. That's fascinating.
But even during those times
Yeah.
of intense rivalry,
Warfare.
warfare,
Yeah.
intellectual ideas,
Ideas could still
they still cross borders.
cross borders, yeah.
Zhu Yan's theory,
Right.
though it originated in a rival state,
Right.
but it ended up playing a key role
Key role.
in shaping the Qin Dynasty's whole identity.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
His theory linked the rise and fall of dynasties
Okay.
to a
To a what?
cosmic dance
Cosmic dance, all right.
of 5 elements:
5 elements.
water, fire.
Wood, metal,
Okay,
and earth.
makes sense.
Each element had a corresponding virtue,
So each element had its own
like a defining characteristic.
defining characteristic, I see.
And since the Qin Dynasty replaced the Zhou Dynasty,
Right.
which was associated with
Fire.
fire, yeah,
It makes sense.
they cleverly adopted
They adapted.
the water virtue.
Ah, I see. Water extinguishes fire.
Exactly.
Clever. Strategic
Strategic masterstroke.
masterstroke. I like that.
They embraced everything associated with water.
Everything.
Well, like what?
Black became their standard color.
Black, huh?
The 10th month
Uh-huh.
became the beginning of the year,
Oh, wow.
and so on.
So it wasn't just like
It wasn't just random symbolism.
random.
It was deliberate and
Okay.
powerful.
Yeah.
It was a move to assert their right to rule.
Drool, okay.
They were showcasing their alignment,
With the cosmic order?
with the cosmic order.
So black wasn't just a fashion statement.
No.
It was a philosophical declaration.
Interesting.
I mean, even the common people,
Right.
they were renamed
To what?
Qin Shu,
Qin Shu.
which translates to blackheads.
Blackheads. Wow.
It's believed that this referred to the
With
black turbans that they wore.
oh, okay. And the water.
So
hens?
direct link to the water virtue.
Wow, that's
This shows how deeply ingrained
ingrained.
Z's symbolism was.
in their identity.
Exactly.
But let's go a little deeper.
Black represented much more than just a color.
Oh.
It reflected profound beliefs,
About
a very nature of water itself.
Okay, so unpack that for me.
Sure.
What did water symbolize in this context?
Well, in Chinese philosophy, water embodies yin energy,
Yin energy.
represents qualities like adaptability,
Okay.
resilience,
Resilience, yeah.
a natural tendency to flow downward.
And to find a level surface, right?
Exactly.
Does this tie into their legalistic philosophy?
You're good at this.
Their emphasis on strict law and order?
That's a brilliant connection.
Really?
You're spot on.
Okay.
The article highlights how the Qin Dynasty,
Yeah.
they linked their legalistic philosophy
Right.
with this water symbolism.
Well, the water symbolism.
Yeah.
Okay.
The concept of fairness in their legal system,
Uh-huh.
it was tied to the imagery of water,
I see.
just as water always seeks a level plane.
Mm.
The law, according to the Qin,
Yeah.
was meant to be applied equally to everyone, ensuring a kind of cosmic balance.
So they were basically saying,
What's that?
hey, just like water finds its level,
Uh-huh.
the law is going to bring everything into balance.
Balance.
So don't even think about complaining.
Interesting.
It sounds like some serious propaganda to me.
Indeed, it is a subtle, very powerful way
powerful
of connecting their political agenda
okay.
to this grander cosmic order,
cosmic order.
making it seem almost inevitable,
Inevitable, yeah.
natural,
And unquestionable.
unquestionable.
But wait, there's more.
More.
The Qin Dynasty also had a thing for the number 6.
The number 6.
Apparently, there's a connection between 6
Okay.
and water.
And water. All right.
According to the 5 elements theory,
Yes.
this is what's known as taking 6 as the standard.
Taking 6 is the standard.
Sima Qin,
Yeah.
the grand historian of ancient China,
Of course.
he wrote about this
He did.
in his Records of the Grand Historian.
The records of the grand historian.
He claimed that in the Qin Dynasty,
Yeah.
everything,
It-
from talismans to carriage widths,
Carriage widths. Wow.
was based on multiples of 6.
Multiples of 6.
He even mentions the renaming of the Yellow River
What?
to Dishui
Interesting.
to emphasize this water virtue.
So we're talking 6.
6 kun talismans.
6 chi-wide carriages.
Wow, commitment.
Talk about commitment to a brand.
Yeah, but
I sense a but coming.
no, like much of history,
Right.
it's not all.
A perfectly neat and tidy story.
Archaeological discoveries
Oh,
actually contradict some of these claims.
really?
Many Qin systems,
Yeah.
especially for weights and measures,
Weights and measures.
they were based on the decimal system.
Decimal system.
Well, at the number 6.
Yeah. Was Sima Qin embellishing a bit?
A-B?
Or were the Qin Dynasty
Yeah.
strategically picking and choosing
Picking and choosing what? Aspects of the 5 virtues theory.
to fit their needs?
It sounds like they were doing some cosmic mix and match.
That's a great way to put it.
So does this mean that Emperor Qin Shi Huang,
The first emperor.
yeah, the first emperor, wasn't a true
The
believer
true believer.
in this whole 5 virtues theory?
In the 5 virtues.
Was he just a savvy politician?
A savvy politician, huh?
Using it as a tool
As a tool.
to solidify his power?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
And this is where that intriguing title,
You mean pasted text?
pasted text,
Okay, the title mystery.
it all comes into
Don't
play.
say it on me.
The title, pasted text,
Yeah.
it kind of suggests
Okay.
that the Qin Dynasty's connection
Mm-hmm.
to the water virtue
Right.
wasn't like some natural evolution.
Oh, interesting.
It's as if they took bits and pieces
Bits and pieces.
of existing philosophies,
Okay.
traditions, even numerology,
Wow.
and they cleverly pasted them together
He-
to create this narrative.
This narrative of their legitimacy. So
Yeah,
it's like
okay.
they were creating a cosmic collage.
Cosmic collage.
Yeah, remixing ideas to build their imperial brand.
You got it.
It makes you wonder if those ancient marketing gurus were using like focus groups and mood boards.
You know, it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Leaders throughout history,
Mm-hmm.
they've often drawn from diverse sources
Okay.
to shape their image
Right.
and justify their rule.
Their rule.
The Qin Dynasty were just really good at it.
Masters.
They took this abstract idea,
Abstract idea.
the 5 virtues,
Yeah.
and made it into a tangible system.
A system of.
Colors, symbols, even administrative practices.
It's fascinating.
They knew how to weave a narrative.
A narrative that resonated with the people.
Exactly.
And it worked, right?
It did.
I mean, they unified China.
They did.
And established a dynasty that lasted for centuries. It makes you wonder, did this cycle of 5 virtues theory, did it just fade away?
Fade away.
With the Qin Dynasty? I mean,
oh, no.
Or did it have a lasting impact?
Oh, it definitely didn't disappear.
Really?
It became like the framework.
A framework for what?
For understanding dynastic change.
Dynastic change? In China?
In China for centuries.
Yeah.
Later dynasties.
Yeah.
They used it to justify their own rise to power.
So the Qin Dynasty, they didn't just create an empire.
No.
They created the blueprint for how to legitimize power in ancient China.
You could say that.
It's amazing how these ideas, even if pasted together, ended up having such a lasting impact.
A lasting impact.
This reminds me of something we see today.
Oh, like what?
Like how nations today carefully craft their image.
Craft their image?
On the world stage.
Oh, I see.
Using symbols.
Symbols.
Colors. Carefully chosen narratives.
It's all about perception.
Absolutely.
It highlights a timeless truth.
What's that?
Whether we're talking ancient China or the modern world. Successful nation building.
Nation building, right?
It involves more than just
brute force.
Brute force or
economic power.
Yeah, it requires the ability to create a shared identity.
Okay.
A story that resonates.
Resonates.
And makes people believe in the legitimacy.
Of those in power.
Exactly.
You know, I was reading about how Canada adopted the maple leaf.
The maple leaf.
As their national symbol.
It's a good symbol.
It started as a simple emblem.
Okay.
But it became a powerful representation.
Of Canadian identity.
Yeah, and even today, countries rebrand themselves.
Rebrand.
Like when they host the Olympics.
Oh, right. To project a certain image.
Exactly. Symbols have this amazing ability to evoke emotions. Associations.
That go beyond their literal meaning.
They tap into something deeper.
Deeper. A shared understanding.
It can unite people.
Unite people.
Give them a sense of belonging.
It's powerful.
Makes you wonder.
What's that?
If you were designing a new nation's image, what symbols and ideas would you use?
To project strength and legitimacy.
In our modern world,
In our modern world.
What would be your water virtue?
That's a fascinating question.
Right.
Instead of just one color.
One color.
Maybe we'd opt for a spectrum.
A spectrum.
Symbolizing diversity.
Diversity, I like that.
Interconnectedness.
Interconnectedness, that's good.
Or maybe a symbol of resilience.
Adaptability.
Essential for our times.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
A symbol of interconnectedness.
Yeah.
It reflects our globalized world.
Right.
Instead of what divides us.
Yeah.
We emphasize what unites us.
What unites us.
That's powerful.
It's about finding those universal aspirations.
Universal aspirations.
The values that connect us.
Connect us on a human level.
Human level.
Maybe a symbol that represents.
Represents what?
The pursuit of knowledge.
Knowledge, innovation.
Sustainability.
Sustainability, yeah.
These are values that could inspire.
Inspire and unite.
Unite, exactly.
Speaking of unity and symbolism, let's get back to those inconsistencies.
Oh, right.
About the number 6.
6.
And the Qin Dynasty.
Okay.
I know they were big on the 6 symbolism.
They were.
Supposedly because of the link to water.
The link to water.
Yeah. In the 5 elements theory.
Makes sense.
But the historical records, specifically Sima Qian's accounts, they seem to contradict the archaeological evidence.
That's right.
Sima Qian, in his records, he claims that everything in the Qin Dynasty was based on 6s.
On 6s.
He mentions 6 kun talismans.
6 kun?
Carriages, 6 chi wide.
6 chi.
Renaming the Yellow River.
Okay.
It all paints a very deliberate picture.
A deliberate picture.
You mentioned Qin Shi.
I did.
For those of us who aren't familiar with ancient Chinese measurements, what are we talking about here?
Good point.
Yeah.
A kun was a unit of length.
Okay.
Roughly equivalent to an inch.
An inch. Okay.
While chi was about a foot.
So we're talking talismans.
Yeah.
About 6 inches long.
6 inches.
Carriages 6 feet wide.
Exactly.
Sima Qian's descriptions, they create this sense that the number 6 was woven into their society.
Their society, okay.
But then you mentioned the archaeological findings tell a different story.
Different story.
It's almost like they weren't as obsessed with 6.
As Sima Qian suggests.
Interesting.
Were they just cherry-picking?
Cherry-picking.
When it came to using 6s, I mean...
It's possible.
Or maybe over time, stories about their obsession got exaggerated.
Exaggerated or...
Romanticized.
Romanticized, right? History is often told.
Told by who?
Through the lens of the writer.
Writers, right?
And sometimes those writers have agendas.
Agendas.
Biases.
Biases?
I guess it's like that game.
What game?
Telephone.
Whew.
We played as kids. The story changes.
With each retelling.
Exactly.
Right.
So how do we reconcile these inconsistencies?
That's the big question.
Was Emperor Qin Shi Huang genuinely devoted...
Devoted to what?
To the 5 virtues and all the symbolism.
The 5 virtues, huh?
Or was he just a brilliant strategist?
A brilliant strategist.
Who knew how to manipulate perceptions.
Manipulate perception.
To consolidate his power.
It's a puzzle.
We're trying to read the mind.
The mind?
Of an emperor.
Yeah.
From over 2,000 years ago.
It's not easy. It really is.
What we do know is that the Qin Dynasty's
visual design.
Yeah, their whole visual identity, their use of the water virtue, all the symbolism. It wasn't just...
A random aesthetic choice.
It wasn't just about looks.
Right, it was much more...
It was a calculated strategy. To project an image of power.
Of power.
Legitimacy.
And the divine right to rule,
Exactly.
They were really good at that.
And that's a lesson that's still relevant today, don't you think?
Absolutely. Think about...
How brands. Political figures. Even entire countries.
Entire countries,
They use symbols and narratives.
To influence how people see them.
It's all about shaping perceptions.
We're constantly bombarded with messages.
It's true.
Designed to sway our opinions.
It's more important now than ever to be aware of how we're being influenced.
To think critically.
So next time you see a logo, a flag... Even a color used in a specific way.
A specific way, okay.
Remember the Qin Dynasty?
The Qin Dynasty.
And their masterful use of symbolism?
It reminds us
that
history isn't just...
dates and events.
Right, it's about understanding...
It's understanding what...
The human stories.
The stories.
The motivations, the strategies.
That have shaped our world.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've done a good job today.
I think so too.
Unearthing some of those stories.
We've explored...
The Qin Dynasty's visual identity.
Their water virtue.
Yeah, their use of the color black.
Even the number 6.
To legitimize their rule.
And create a unified identity.
And we found some inconsistencies along the way.
Some mysteries, for sure.
It makes you think.
Think about what?
About the role of interpretation in history.
History isn't always black and white.
That's for sure.
It's full of shades of gray.
And that's part of what makes it so fascinating.
It keeps us questioning and exploring.
That's what we do here.
Speaking of questioning, I have a question for you.
Okay, shoot.
If you were to design the visual identity of a new nation today.
A new nation? Wow.
What symbols would you use?
To convey strength, legitimacy, unity.
That's a tough one.
It is. That's the challenge we leave you with.
Think about the values.
The message.
The most effective symbols.
They resonate on a deep level.
They tap into universal aspirations.
Shared human experiences.
Maybe skip the black dye, though.
Unless it's on trend, of course.
Exactly.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep those minds engaged.